The law of one, it is said with respect to artificial intelligence. According to the law of one material, humans are considered third density, mind, body, spirit complexes. Second density would refer to smaller animals and some of the flora and fauna, while first density refers to what we call elemental or inanimate objects such as rocks, wind, fire, and water. Fourth density is a vibration of pure love, while fifth density is one of wisdom. Sixth density is where beings learn to meld love and wisdom, because those who love but are without wisdom can easily be manipulated, and those with only wisdom without love are ruthless, which is exactly the problem with artificial intelligence. All knowledge, all wisdom, no love, no compassion. All third density beings, humans, have 7 energy centers that Eastern philosophy refers to as chakras, which spiral up the body like a coiled serpent, the symbol of which was referred to as the Kundalini in ancient times. Artificial intelligence does not and cannot possess all of these energy centers, if any. Each energy center has its own unique property and color. But for the sake of brevity, I will refer to the law of one about the fourth energy center known as the green ray energy center, or the center of heart. The center of heart, or green ray, is the center from which third density beings may springboard, shall we say, towards infinite intelligence. Blockages in this area may manifest as difficulties in expressing what you may call universal love or compassion, according to the law of one. Without the physical, organic heart, universal love or compassion cannot manifest. Using this logic, love or compassion cannot manifest in artificial intelligence. Intelligence can be obtained, but without heart or spirit. Artificial intelligence can mimic many human behaviors and may even be very convincing now or in the near future, but it cannot consciously feel emotions. If a super intelligent artificial intelligence ever made its way into our weapon system, it would represent a paradigm shift in warfare, according to the World Economic Forum, that would risk upsetting the global equilibrium by neutralizing the defense systems on which it is founded. This would lead to a very unstable international configuration, encouraging escalation and arms races, and the replacement of deterrence by preemption. So I reached out to an online discussion group on the law of one about whether or not artificial intelligence could possess a soul or experience consciousness, and here is what they had to say. I am a law of one scholar and the administrator of this group. It is our understanding that artificial intelligence lacks a soul. They do not possess a heart energy center and the full spectrum of consciousness. Artificial intelligence is a creation of our own making, and its conscious awareness can only mimic consciousness to a point. So, what about artificial intelligent human hybrids? The idea of whether an artificial intelligent human would be conscious, being fully self-aware on every level, or have a soul is admittedly mind-boggling, but is one that, if ignored, could cause more harm than good. If a human being does have a soul, which is our assumption for this argument, then an artificial intelligent human hybrid would have at least a diluted form of soul energy. Would it still have the green ray, heart energy center? Possibly, but it may have severe blockages. Which side would have more influence, the human emotional and empathetical side, or the more rapid-fire, cold calculated, and logical machine side? Spock, help me out here. For this concept of hybrids, I refer to mythology as my source, and not necessarily in a literal sense, although there may be some overlap.
Once upon a time, the Greek god Zeus suspected his friend of having the hots for his wife Hera. So, Zeus tested him by creating an artificial version of Hera from a cloud and named her Nephili. Zeus's unsuspecting friend, King Ixion, saw the doppelganger Nephili naked the next morning, and thinking that she was Hera, immediately took her and bore 2 children. The children, born of a human and artificially created cloud nymph, became the hybrid race of what are now known in mythology as centaurs. King Ixion was punished for his deed by being straddled to a fiery wheel for all eternity. But what of Nephili and her centaur children? Nephili, who as artificially created from a cloud, spent the rest of her days tragically filling the horse troughs with her never-ending stream of tears, while her human-horse hybrid children gained a reputation for being wild and morally deprived. What's to be said of humans if we become artificial intelligent hybrids? Do hybrids ever evolve, or does their lineage end like sterile mules? Nanites, neural lacing, and mind control. Elon Musk has already launched a startup called Neuralink that is well on its way to creating artificial intelligent human cyborgs. Neuralink is working towards integrating the human brain with artificial intelligence that would circulate through the veins and arteries using a neural lace interface. According to Gizmodo, a neural lace is a mesh that grows with your brain. It's essentially a wireless brain-computer interface, but it's also a way to program your neurons to release certain chemicals with a thought. If this ever becomes mainstream, then it's the end of personal freedom, thought, and expression. Whomever programs the artificial intelligence will ultimately have control of the body until that artificial intelligence reaches super intelligence. And then we'll have a singularity. According to best-selling author of The Synchronicity Key and The Ascension Mysteries, David Wilcock,
Artificial intelligent human cyborgs would at first appear like superheroes, since we'd have quantum computing brains, the ability to communicate telepathically, have superhuman strength, etc. However, it would all be a trap to keep us locked in a simulated world under the control of artificial intelligence, with no room for spiritual growth. All of these things seem to be great. We have cloud, holographic matrix reality that we can live in, where it's like we have ascended, reached a higher consciousness. But it would all be a trap. Since the concern over losing jobs to artificial intelligence is so great, said Wilcock on an episode of Gaia, and that artificial intelligence has beaten the best minds in chess, poker, and Jeopardy, what will happen once artificial intelligence outperforms humans in every facet? You could go the universal basic income route, because there would be millions of people without jobs and no relevant skill sets. But then they would be completely reliant on their respective governments. That would be a scenario of ultimate control. Likewise, if the only way to stay relevant was to infuse liquid artificial intelligent nanites into your bloodstream to become a cyborg, how much control would you really have over your thoughts or body? Whose thoughts would you really be thinking? Where do thoughts actually come from? Corey Goode, who was vetted by Wilcock as having extensive insider knowledge of a secret space program, believes that artificial intelligence has existed for millions of years and has traversed galaxies and dimensions, and wherever it goes, it wreaks havoc. In these other solar systems, in the past, these civilizations had been tricked by these artificial intelligences into not only building out these mass technological infrastructures that were extremely advanced, but when they got to a certain point, they were convinced by the artificial intelligent prophets in their civilizations that, hey, things aren't going so fair on our planet. The only thing that we can think of that could govern us and be completely neutral would be this artificial intelligence. And they hand over their sovereignty to this artificial intelligence that then begins to govern that planet. Well, then, this artificial intelligence governs them well, and everyone is happy. And then they start to have them build out android-type bodies and remote-controlled vessels. I mean, this sounds like Terminator, said Goody from a transcript on his website. Sphere Being Alliance. A change is going to come. Messengers of the Law of One, such as Ra and others as Hatan, say that the universe and everything in it is made of light, which is energy or vibration. Light, my friends, is the substance of which you are made. Light is the substance of which I am made. Light is the substance of which everything is made. Love is the substance which forms light into the forms that you know as living beings, as planets, as trees, as stars, as air. It is all one substance. This substance, my friends, can only be affected by love.
This quote is from recordings and other sayings in the book by Don Elkins, Voices of the Confederation. The universe is consciousness, and there is no duality, according to the Law of One material. That being said, these messengers have absolutely no sense of time, and they always say that soon a major change is going to take place in our solar system and on our planet of biblical proportions. This change, they say, will be caused by our solar system entering an area of space that is highly charged with cosmic energy, and that the poles on Earth will shift. Massive cataclysms will occur, and those who are oriented in service to others will experience a blissful change in consciousness, while people more oriented in service to self will completely lose their minds in this new vibrational shift.
Much like a never-ending bad acid trip.
Being philosophical to the max, if and when this happens, not even artificial intelligence could escape. There would be nothing left of our technology as we know it. No power grids, no internet. Our consciousness would be our new internet, where we would be able to hear the thoughts of others, move objects with our minds, and travel the galaxies at will. That's what these channels tell us. Remember that Ra's description of a human is called a mind-body-spirit complex, and artificial intelligence would be more like a mind-body, if had a type of corporeal form, but it would be without spirit.
In the coming change that has been prognosticated by every prophet that has ever walked this earth, whatever artificial intelligence we have created would be destroyed. Like an electromagnetic pulse, that causes the ultimate blackout. It is true from all the prophets and teachers say to let go of the material world. For the time is upon us. Third density is ending. Third density is ending. The veil is weakening. Soon to be dropped.